Greetings everyone, I am Dr. Wolf, and I just watched the trailer for the series finale of My Little Pony. And yeah, there's several little items that I find fascinating. I'm getting a little excited about. Just please be aware there are potential spoilers ahead for anyone who wishes to avoid them. To start off, we go through some short flashbacks of Twilight's greatest accomplishments in the series and how Celestia is really proud of her and how far she's come. And Rarity even mentions this is the first shift in royal power in over a millennia. So naturally, Twilight is understandably a little terrified. I mean, how would any of us feel in her position right now? But we do see something very quick where it appears that Twilight is the one raising the sun. Even though you can see Luna and Celestia in that exact same scene, Twilight's horn is the only one that's glowing. So, is this Twilight being able to have enough magical power of her own in order to handle the celestial bodies? Or are the Royal Sisters giving up a large portion of their own magical potential and bestowing what they've been doing for who knows how long? Either case, it's kind of a big deal. But then we get into some action sequences, because we notice that, for starters, the Wendigos are circling in the sky over what looks to be Canterlot, although much of the city appears to be missing. But we'll get into that later. And a yellowish portal is forming. And I have to believe Grogar will be arriving through that portal and perhaps having his very first face-to-face meeting with Twilight. Now, we do see things like the Wonderbolts trying to gather some purplish clouds into barrels, not sure what that's about. Heroes of old answering the call to action. And yeah, I was genuinely curious, have any of these ancient heroes heard of Grogar and what he's capable of? And would they have some method of being able to banish him again, or steal his bell away just as Gusty the Great did? I don't know. However, we do see Rainbow and Twilight and Pinkie dodging a massive power blast. And judging by how it looks, it would make a lot of sense that this is coming from T-Rex. That T-Rex is going to be battling the main six and maybe have something that's just as epic as the Season 4 finale, where it kind of turned into a Dragon Ball Z-esque power blast punching through mountains kind of scene. I don't know if it'll get quite that over the top, but it's possible. But then a little more low scale, we see Rarity using some kind of shield magic to protect Spike from what looks to be a blast from Chrysalis. And again, I have to wonder exactly how long a pony like Rarity could stand up to someone like Chrysalis. You have to believe that if she was able to overpower Celestia in the Season 2 finale, that Rarity is going to need something a little bit more than a shield. But protecting her spiky wikey, who knows? Maybe that might bring out something she's never been able to do before. And then Twilight defending both of the Royal Sisters from what appears to be another power blast from T-Rex, which apparently destroys a large section of Canterlot. Again, that's raising the stakes by quite a fair bit. And it might explain why earlier, when the Wendigos were circling in the sky over what looked to be Canterlot from a distance, why some of the buildings were missing. Maybe that's why. Maybe T-Rex Power Blast has wiped out a large section of the city. Now, we do see in the background here that the Royal Sisters and what looks to be the main six are trying to hold off another Power Blast from T-Rex. And that Twilight is looking towards the audience, tears gushing, and looks like she's about to do something she really does not want to do. Like she has to sacrifice something incredibly dear to her. And I can only imagine what that could possibly be. In the very next scene, Spike is coming up to her with tears in his own eyes. And I'd hate to think that Spike is what Twilight needs to be sacrificing, because I can't imagine the MLP staff would ever go quite that far. But I hope that Spike has something important to do during this finale. Something that puts him on the same level as the main six and Twilight and even the Royal Sisters, that he is essential to saving Equestria. And can you imagine if Twilight really did have to make that kind of sacrifice, that there's some kind of dragon pony magic combination that allows everything to be saved? I know I'm really reaching here. There's nothing to really base this on other than Twilight's teary-eyed face here. I'm just trying to think if there was anything that Twilight had to sacrifice in order to save the day, that Spike would be willingly allow himself to become a focal point of magic that could save the day. Even if that's not the case for the finale, I think that would make an excellent story. Also, in another little trailer, we do see that Chrysalis and T-Rex and Cozy Glow are entering into Canterlot without Grogar anywhere in sight. And I'm wondering, is this their attempt to try and take power for themselves, perhaps even using Grogar's bell to their own advantage? Thinking that, well, if we have this and we're charging into Canterlot on our own, then we don't really need to share power with Grogar. We can take care of things ourselves. Again, I have to believe that Grogar might have foreseen this eventuality and might have already had other plans in place. Because if T-Rex had already destroyed part of Canterlot, and then later on it's when Grogar comes into the scene and really lays down a deep punishment on his minions who have attempted to betray him, and then finally reclaims his bell and goes out to meet Twilight in front of the remains of Canterlot through this yellowish portal. I have some other theories on what might end up happening to T-Rex, Chrysalis, and Cozy Glow, but I might save that for another video, we'll see. In the meantime though, it's exciting to think that the series finale is going to have everything going wrong all at once. That Twilight and her friends are basically all that stands between the peace and harmony that every pony has known for many generations, and another invasion by the first Emperor of Equestria, the father of monsters. But what do each of you think? Given all of these possible scenarios and these short little snippets in the trailer, what do you suppose is the most likely event that will save all of Equestria? And what will any pony need to sacrifice in order to make that happen? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, because as always, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.